Hello there, and welcome to my second episode of Bits and Bolts. This is going to be a quick one because Mizore is a pretty simple costume, but I do get a lot of questions about Mizore Shirayuki from Rosario Vampire, so I'm going to go ahead and break down the costume and tell you where I got everything and how I put it together. So let's get started. Alright, first off, the wig is from the 5 Wits. It's actually a style for Krona from Soul Eater. And I just restyled the bangs a little bit to get it to look really good for Mizore. It is a little bit pinker than Mizore's hairstyle. She's more of like a cool toned purple. But I love this wig so much that I don't want to give it up. I don't see any reason to get another wig for Mizore, so I'm very happy with this one. Moving on to the necklace, it's pretty simple. I just used a chain from like one of those cheap little necklaces you can get from like the dollar store because I had it on hand. And then I put a little coin on it, which you can get the coin from like Hobby Lobby or Joann in the jewelry section. So pretty simple and easy to make the necklace. Moving on to the hoodie, I get a lot of questions on this. I did pattern the whole thing myself. It's made out of the Jet Set knit from Joann fabric. And unfortunately the Jet Set knit is a little bit thin, so you do want to double it up. So I would recommend maybe a slightly thicker fabric. You could even make it out of fleece if you want. So I have my straps and they're connected to the hoodie. I think it's kind of debated whether it's part of her hoodie or if it's part of her bra, but I just went ahead and made it part of the hoodie so it's really easy for it to stay up. And it does have a functional pocket. The pocket is a little small though, so if I remake the hoodie, then I'm gonna make the pocket a little bit bigger. Moving on to the skirt, that's definitely the most complicated part of the costume, and the number one question I get is where did I get my skirt and where did I get the fabric for it? The fabric is bottom weight, really good for like if you're gonna do like pants or skirts or kind of like uniform, you want some stiffness and crispness to the look. You can line it, but I would pick a very thin liner. But personally I didn't line mine because it is such a thick fabric. The skirt was plain, like this olive green. It had no design to it. In order to add the design, I did satin stitching all the way across the skirt and up and down the skirt. I have it measured so that every pleat would correspond to the design, so I didn't have to do unnecessary satin stitching in the pleats where you're not going to see it. It might be easier just to go to spoonflower.com or another place where they do sublimation printing and can print fabrics. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. I had fun making it. That's a lie. It took like 8 spools of thread. It was awful. It took like 3 days. You can make it if you want to, but spoonflower I might suggest. You don't even necessarily have to add the stripes. I think people will understand the character if you don't add the plaid, but of course me being wanting to compete in this, I went through all the effort to add that. So as for the hem, it's actually a pretty wide hem that I rolled over once and stitched down, and then I rolled over like a much wider section, and I pressed it and slip stitched it all the way around. So that way when you're looking at the front of the skirt, there's no visible seam on top. Okay, so moving on to her leg strap. You'll notice in my first versions, like from 2011 and 2013, I didn't actually have the leg strap because reasons. So it's actually just like black, kind of shiny spandex. It's very similar to the black Mystique at Joann. It's just like a long tube that I sewed inside out, and I used a loop turner to flip it right side out, slid it over a piece of elastic using a safety pin. Like I pushed the safety pin through while it's attached to the elastic, and I just like sew it down. The buckle on it is technically like a fake buckle because I couldn't find the right sort of buckle that would like let me adjust it. So I just made it tight enough that I slide it over my leg like a garter belt, and the belt buckle just stays like stuck there. So it's really just for looks. And it does have like the little strap that connects technically. It's supposed to connect to like a belt, but since I'm not going to be showing that part, I honestly just safety pin it to my underwear because no one's gonna see it. Fake it till you make it. So anyways, moving on to the socks. These socks, let me fix them. These socks are totally amazing. They're from sockdreams.com. I got them several years ago, but they have lasted me this long. They are super thick. They feel like, real socks, not that like nylon pantyhose stuff. They have super wide stripes and they are very warm and comfortable, and even just for like normal wear, they are awesome socks. Awesome socks. They were more of a cool toned purple, but because of my wig not being a cool purple, I found that the color palette was being thrown off. So I did go ahead and recently, a couple months ago, dye these to be a little bit pinker. I think it was the I Dye Poly or Rit Synthetic, I forget now. But it was a synthetic dye because I wasn't sure if normal dye was going to take, but the synthetic dye did work really, really well. So just put in a little bit of pink dye, and now it matches my wig very well. They complement each other perfectly. So even though I technically made it a little bit less accurate, I think it flatters the whole look better. Sometimes you do have to do that in cosplay because we have different skin tones and different body types and different physics. So do what looks good on you. It doesn't have to be exactly like the character. As long as people can recognize it, you've done a good job. Lastly, the shoes. So cute. Her shoes are a pretty unique style. I believe these are called a creeper style of shoes. Sort of a tongue-in-cheek joke for Mizore. If you know her, she's known for being a little bit of a stalker type of character. She follows the main character around a lot, like hiding behind trees and in trash cans and stuff. So I got these a long time ago for like $60, and I'm pretty sure I got like the last pair that were available. They were actually like a men's size 6 or something like that, and I got them from the UK. But you can look online for creeper shoes. Otherwise, you could just go to like Payless or Goodwill or eBay or something and get some like plain white slip-ons and add the details yourself with like a fabric pen and like your own shoelace and stuff. So if you want like a cheaper method, you could probably spend like 20 to 30 on the shoes instead of spending 60 or more. Eventually, I do want to make a giant ice hand for Mizore. I haven't gotten to that yet because I've just been always busy with other things, but I think this winter, because I want to do a photo shoot for Mizore, I am going to make the ice hand. So I think later on, if I get around to it, I'll go ahead and just make a video specifically about that. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions about my Mizore cosplay, go ahead and leave them in the comments below and I'll try and answer to the best of my ability. And if you have any suggestions about my videos, go ahead and leave me comments on that too, because I am trying to make the videos for you guys. So anything I can do to make it better, just let me know and I'll do my best. Also, I'm going to have another episode of So What coming out. It's actually going to be mostly Warbler based. It's actually the Leia skirt from the infamous Jabba Slayer outfit. I had no idea when I started that project that we would be here today without Carrie Fisher and much less her mother. So I just want to send my condolences out to their family and to fans of both of them. I think it would be a little too soon to start advertising that pattern. So the video is going to be coming out in January, so it's going to be a little bit late, but I think honestly that's for the best. I know it's been a really hard year and we've lost a lot of amazing artists and talented people this year, but I think the best way to honor them is to go out there and keep being inspired by them. Just go out there and be an amazing artist yourself. I hope I can impart some inspiration to you as well. And like I said, just go out there and create. So thank you so much for watching. Tune in next month to another episode of Bits and Bolts.